Our preseason dominance is proving this defense has serious depth. Whose house? Rams' house. We have two massive updates for you today. First, one hungry edge rusher just recorded an insane 10 pressures in a single game. That rare performance makes keeping him off the 53-man roster nearly impossible. Second, our backup quarterback just ran for 2 touchdowns during our recent 34-0 blowout win. The head coach absolutely loved this mobility as a red zone weapon. I will reveal exactly who these guys are in a bit. Stay until the end for both stories. Please hit that like button and subscribe today. Los Angeles Rams edge rusher Wesley Bailey is forcing his way onto the 53-man roster after dominating our latest preseason win. During that contest against the New Orleans Saints, Bailey recorded 10 pressures, an incredible feat that puts him in elite company with the league's top talent over the last 4 years. Honestly, my first reaction was disbelief at such a high snap count impact. I'm excited, but I also want to pump the brakes a little before we declare him our next superstar. Here's the thing nobody wants to say. We have very limited space on our current depth chart. Is he really going to displace a veteran for a permanent spot? The front office now faces a genuine challenge to clear room for his production. How do we justify cutting someone else to keep him? It remains a difficult decision for the team to make. Is it even possible to ignore a performance that puts a player in the same breath as the league's top talent? Wesley Bailey tallied 10 pressures against the New Orleans Saints, joining an extremely short list of edge rushers who have reached that total in a single game over the last 4 years. And the more I look at this, the clearer it becomes that his impact goes far beyond just a high snap count. I am genuinely impressed by his motor, but I want to pump the brakes a little before we assume he is a lock for the final roster. Our front office historically values veteran presence in the trenches, making those final cuts agonizingly difficult to finalize. Does this production force their hand, or will they prioritize experience? Only time will tell if he makes that leap to a full season of professional ball. Now, let's shift gears to another massive development as Stetson Bennett dominated the New Orleans Saints during our 34-0 victory on August 22, 2026. This backup quarterback showcased his mobility by rushing for 2 touchdowns, proving he can be a legitimate weapon when the pocket breaks down. Does this finally solve our long-standing need for a dynamic element in the red zone? Let's be real, I am excited by his performance, but I also want to pump the brakes a little before declaring him our permanent solution. Sean McVay praised how Stetson used his legs as a genuine weapon, confirming this was a specific focus for the coaching staff. It is refreshing to see that level of athleticism on display for our offense. With Matthew Stafford lacking designed runs, could Bennett force his way into a meaningful snap count once the regular season officially begins? Having a dual threat capability in the backfield changes how defenses account for our quarterbacks, and I think that is exactly the edge we need. When Stetson Bennett takes off, it creates immediate hesitation for opposing linebackers, forcing them to commit to a spy instead of dropping into coverage. And here's why that's a big deal. If our reserve signal callers like Bennett and Ty Simpson can convert on short yardage downs using their legs, our red zone efficiency could finally stabilize. Yet, rely too heavily on these designed runs and the risk of injury skyrockets during a long season. Can we really trust a backup to sustain hits in the open field without compromising our depth chart? My honest take here is that this mobility is purely a situational asset, not a permanent starter trait. I love the aggressive mindset, but relying on scrambling remains a volatile strategy. When you put both of today's stories together, the picture that emerges for the Los Angeles Rams shows a coaching staff committed to maximizing every single asset on this roster. Wesley Bailey dominating in the trenches alongside Stetson Bennett weaponizing his legs suggests we are finally building real depth behind our starters. Now here's the thing. While these individual performances against the New Orleans Saints were impressive, we must still see how they hold up once the regular season begins. I believe this shift toward younger, versatile players marks a necessary evolution for our franchise's long-term strategy. Can we afford to keep Bailey if it means sacrificing veteran experience? Does Bennett's mobility provide enough upside to secure the backup job permanently? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Whose house? Rams house.